All right, folks, here's a recap on today's lesson. Okay, like I said, the new part's easy. The log part in the second example, there's only 2 examples, is the hard part, so to speak. Okay, but let's look here. Now, if you want to, it's just basically asking for the antiderivative. Use separation of variables to determine the general solution for y. Okay, it's just asking for the antiderivative. The problem is, aren't there x's and y's on both sides? On the same side, I mean. Okay, folks, computers tinted or closed, everyone. Okay. Now, there's x's and y's on all jumbled up on one side. Okay, so we need to move the x's on one side, y's on one side. Okay, so, or else, let's say this was x. If that was x, that's cool. Well, then you just divide both sides by 5. Okay, and just take the antiderivative. Okay, but we can't do that now because the x's and y's are both on one side. So what we're going to do is separate the x, separate the y's, like I just said. Okay, now, do you understand that if I multiply both sides by dx, I get this right here? Yeah? You guys understand if I divide both sides by y squared plus 1, it goes underneath the 5. We good? Okay. Now we take the so we're good here, right? Okay. Believe it or not, that's the only new part. Everything else is review. Take the antiderivative of both sides. Okay. This, okay. So again, everything below my line is review. I'm going to move the 5 over here, and I get that. The antiderivative of, so the 5 goes here, crosses off. The antiderivative of 1 over y squared plus 1 becomes that. Are you guys with me? Okay. Reverse power rule says this becomes that. And there's c sub 1, c sub 2 for the constants. Okay. And then when you subtract c sub 1 from both sides, we just get a big C. Does that make sense? Because it's just a constant. If this is 5, that's 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. We good, folks? Okay. Now let's keep going. Okay, we're almost done. Now, I literally divide by 5 to everything. Is constant divided by 5 still a constant? Yeah. Okay. And 3 divided by 5, there you go. Boom. Okay. And then how do you get rid of inverse tangent? Just do regular tangent. Okay. And then these cancel. And boom. You get that. Does that make sense, folks? Okay. All right. That's the general solution. Now, we're going to do an example where there's a particular solution where you plug in a point and solve backwards for C. Okay, so watch this. Okay. Again, the new part is super easy. This is from a 2014 AP exam. Okay. Now, they give us an initial condition right here of 0, 1. So let's not even talk about that first. Let's just do the same thing that we did before. Do we see x's and y's jumbled up on one side of the equal sign? Yeah, we need to separate it out. Okay, so what we're going to do is divide both sides by 3 minus, or excuse me, let's start easy. We're going to multiply both sides by dx. Do you guys understand how it migrates? Okay. We're going to divide both sides by 3 minus y. Do you understand how that migrates to the bottom there? Take the integral of both sides. This becomes that. Okay. The integral of cosine, that's super easy, is sine. You can do a u substitution, say u equals to 3 minus y. And then this eventually becomes 1 over u, and then blah, blah, blah. Or you can do it in your head. This one should be easy enough to do in your head. Okay. All right. This is going to be an ln, and we put a negative as preemptively because a chain rule, you know what I mean. Okay. Anyways, or just Just do a u substitution here. Now, okay, now, that's the new part, okay? Easy. Here is the old part, but it's still easy so far, okay? Let's look below this line. We're going to plug in 0, 1 right here. 0, 1 for x, y. X, y, 0, 1. Are we good? And we're just going to solve backwards, folks. Okay? We're going to solve backwards. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay? Sine of 0 is 0. Okay? Sine of 0 is 0. Okay? And I get negative ln of 2 for c. Does that make sense? So what used to be c, becomes negative ln of 2. Are you guys with me? Okay. All right. Now, we just got to get y by itself. Let's start easy. Divide everything by negative 1. Are we good? We're dividing everything by negative 1. Now, I do not like this way here. Okay? This way is better because you're more commonly going to use this property. Do you agree that I can do a circle to write it into exponent form? Yeah? All right. So, and then do you agree that ln is the same as log e? Do you guys agree? Now I'm going to do circle of log. E to the power of this crap is 3 minus y. E to the power of that crap is big 3 minus y, not an exponent. We good? Let's just do the same exact property here. Okay? That's the first hurdle, okay, that might be challenging, just doing that circle. Now, let's look at this cloud here. How do we get y by itself? Now, check this out. They just copied this here, and anywhere you see plus, you can think multiply. We good? Okay. Now, do you agree ln is the same as log e? Yeah, so I'm going to cross this off. Do you guys agree? Now, if this matches, if we have a match with that green circle and that green circle, if the base and this base of log matches, E2233, you can just cancel this whole thing, okay? And just get a big 2, and just get a big 2. Okay? All right? So that's what happened here. These cancel, and we're just going to migrate the 2 to the front, and that's what we get here. And that's the second and last hurdle, okay? Because some people probably forgot about this property you should have learned last year. All right? Now, that's basically it. We're going to subtract 3 and then divide everything by negative 1. Okay? So let's recap in less than 30 seconds what happened on this example, because once you know this example, the first one is easy. Okay? We got x's and y's jumbled up on one side of the equal sign, so you cannot take the antiderivative yet. So we move things across, rearrange through algebra, okay, so that y's are on one side, x's are on another, and then we take the antiderivative of each side, okay? And then after that, you plug in x, y to isolate for c, and then so this becomes not our, this used to be a c, now it's a minus ln2. So this is our particular solution. Here was our general solution here, okay? Now it's just algebra. Divide everything by this negative, okay? And then we use circle of logs here. ln is the same thing as log of e. Do the circle, e to the power all this crap gives you 3 minus y. There you go, e to the power all that crap gives you 3 minus y, okay? And then anywhere you see plus, you think times. Last hurdle is that ln is the same thing as log base e. This can cancel, and this 2 this becomes a big 2 right here, which you just move to the front. Boom, and then subtract 3, divide by -1. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be a third time of me saying it. The only new thing is what's above the line, which is easy. It's the algebra below, especially as you get down towards logs. That might be a hurdle for you guys. Any questions, folks? Okay. All right.